Hiya. I guess I'm going to start calling these the walk and talks. It's just a snapshot of my life in this city, man. Try to do as much as you can on any given day to get it all scheduled in and get it right. Had karaoke shifts Friday and Saturday nights. It was a lot of fun. We had some Halloween parties. Apparently, everyone dressing in the same theme is a new thing. Had a few of those come in, a handful of zombies, and then the entire cast of cats. It was very entertaining. Gotta love men in a unitard. So I was doing some work today on Caddy while I was prepping up for this shift at Montero's tonight. And some of the research and listening I was doing was about mindfulness and sitting in quiet and connecting into your authentic self and those kinds of things. And there's this woman, Sherry Scriber, who I found in the past, and she has a whole series. There's some articles and also some YouTube videos about recovering from relationships with people who have bipolar disorder, BPD. If you've struggled with very dramatic and chaotic relationships, I would recommend you read up on BPD, whether it's for yourself or for someone you love. It just puts a lot of perspective into the situation. But it made me think a lot about rehabbing my house in North Carolina. So, bought a house. It was built in 1938, and it had been lived in by the same family since the mid-60s. So, there's a lot of work to be done. It was a small stick-built house. So that means it just had footings every handful of feet down into the sand in North Carolina. Welcome to my reality. So we had a lot of work to do on it, lot of work. And one of the things that was determined in the inspection was that the house had sunk down over 5 inches in the rear of the house by the kitchen. So we had that lifted up, and it was amazing to watch Bulldog Foundation come in with like a kind of a car jack, and the whole house was going as it lifted up, and it took some time, and they put more footings under, and it was all level. Interestingly, though, they had renovated things in the house to be level to the world with a 5-inch dip, so we had to make adjustments. And one of the things was the kitchen window over the sink was like, woo! So I had my friend Chris Christie, who thankfully was not the governor of New Jersey, by the way, a different Chris Christie. He had learned his construction stuff in California, so he was very familiar with like foundational support in a very unique way. When he opened up the siding on the wall, we realized that actually there had been a roof leak for probably decades earlier. Although there was a new roof on the house, so it hadn't been happening of recent time. It was old rot, but the main beam of the house had been rotted. So he was able to cut and piece together very long blocks and big pieces. He basically did a repair on it that made it stronger than the rest of the house. So that happened. But what's interesting is the point that happened, we'd been in the house over a year. The renovation was done. It looked pretty. It looked great because the outside had been worked on and the paint was fresh and the things were new and the curtains were new and it was bright and light and airy, and we had a HVAC unit in there that had never been before. And there are fundamental fixes that need to be done sometimes that you can't see. And they might have happened a really long time ago. You may not have even known that they were damages occurring at the time that they were doing this kind of thing. And the thing is, that house could have stood as it was forever with that broken beam. But in fixing it, we made the house better. It didn't look prettier. I spent a lot of money to make something look exactly the same as it did when Chris opened up the wall to when he closed up the wall. Looked the same. But it was completely different. It was stronger. It was more substantive. It was ready for whatever life had to throw at it. In fact, by repairing it, we'd actually made it stronger than the rest of the house because it was new wood and it was bigger beams and it was a lot more taken in to account than before. So I've hit my bus stop. I'm going to stop walking now and just say that there's not really much difference. You can make something look pretty on the outside, but if it's damaged on the inside, that's the work that really has to be done. And I'm not going to stop doing that work. I've gotten really inconsistent in maybe I should have done a pact to do 50 after 50, so I'd keep doing these every day. But I'm figuring out my path on this. There's been a lot of changes for me in the last few months, and I have a feeling 2020 is going to hold a bunch more. So my hope for today is that you'll spend a little bit of time self-reflecting if there's something crooked there, something crooked you can see. You keep getting really, really angry at people who do small infractions, especially like on the road, cutting you off on the road. There's something to that anger. There's something structural that needs to be repaired, and don't stop looking for the wall it's hiding behind. All right? I'm not going to stop. You don't stop either. Let the treasure hunt begin. Anyway, have a beautiful Sunday. This is an amazing, by the way, fall day we've got going here. It's like 70, almost 70 degrees. Woo, it's a beautiful day in Bed-Stuy. All right. Have a good day. Thanks for joining me in Caddyland. Peace. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.